Hey everyone, my name is Aziz, and in today's video we're going to be diving into a powerful range build that combines both the longbow and the crossbow for maximum damage in Throne and Liberty for PvE. This build melts mobs and fires like a machine gun, so if you're ready to step up your PvE game, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get started. Alright, let's break down the core components of this build. The idea behind using both the longbow and the crossbow is to provide a flexible playstyle. The longbow will be your main weapon for dealing that big damage at range, while the crossbow is your tool for that hard-hitting burst when you need to take down enemies quickly. With the longbow, you'll be able to engage enemies from a distance using abilities like strafing and decisive sniping. The crossbow, on the other hand, offers a more tactical approach with abilities like weaken and annihilation barrage shot, designed for multiple target eliminations and high burst damage. Alright, let's move on to the actual build. This is going to be my quest log page for the build. I'm going to be putting the link in the description. As always, please note that this is a PvE guide, so most of these pieces are not going to be good for PvP. I do have a build guide for a PvP build that's a little more hybrid than this one. It has a better hit chance than this, so please note that you're not going to be able to use this build in PvE as much as you would my other video with the PvP build. As long as you keep that in mind, let's get started. Now I've got two builds on here. One of them is going to be for mid-game, and then the other is going to be for end-game. The mid-game one I like to roll with because it's easier to upgrade and it's easier to max out. We're going to get started with the weapons. We've got the Carnix Netherbow, the Rex Chimera's crossbow. For the headpiece, we've got the Divine Judiciary mask. We've got the Supreme Devotion for the cloak, Shadow Harvest tunic for chest piece, Shadow Harvest grips for the gloves, Elusive Hexweaver pants for the pants. We've got the Sabaton of the Field General for the boots, Clasp of the Conqueror necklace, Bracer of the Primal King for the bracelet, and then for the rings we've got the Violent Signet, and we've got the Amber Dimensional Band. And for the belt, we've got the Belt of the Midnight Hunt. For attributes, we're going to be going 50 strength for that maximum health, of 750 the damage reduction and the heavy attack chance. Dexterity, we're going to be going 50 for that critical hit chance, bonus damage, and movement speed. Wisdom, we're not going to be putting much into this. For perception, we're going to be getting that 40 for hit chance and buff duration. As you can see from the stats, you have an insane amount of critical hit chance. From range, we don't have much of a hit chance. This is mostly for PvP when people are running evasion builds, but since we're focused on PvE, we don't need much of a hit chance. And then we've got a max health of 10k once we get all these pieces and get it fully traded out. Let's move on to the skills. For my defensive skill, we've got the Overtaker. We've got Deadly Marker, shooting an arrow that has a 90% chance to mark the target for 9 seconds. Attacking the marked target increases the user's magic, melee, and range critical hit chance by 200. This is including you and your party, and it also decreases the cooldown by 1% for everybody inside your party. This is good for marking a boss or an elite mob where everybody's shooting at them. It increases their critical hit chance, and it also reduces their cooldown by a ton. We've got Selfless Diffusion here. It increases offhand double attack chance by 80% for 6 seconds. This is going to be for your crossbow, since that's going to be your secondary weapon. It's going to increase the attack chance for it. You got Nature's Blessing. It removes weaken for everybody inside your party, including yourself, and it heals you as well. And then we've got Detonation Mark. This was Mortal Mark, but then I switched it to Detonation Mark in the skill specialization. This deals 260% of base damage, and then this marks and explodes and deals bonus damage to the target equal to 40% of the total accumulated damage. So if you hit this on an enemy, and once you burst them down, after 3 seconds, it's going to explode and it's going to deal 40% of the total accumulated damage. So you could spam your strafing or your Zephyr's Knock or even your Wild Barrage shot, and this is going to deal 40% of that extra damage. We've got Annihilation Barrage shot. This was Merciless Barrage, but I spec'd it into Wild Barrage. It's going to bring up a cone and deal 25% of base damage. I know that number seems small, but it is huge. This thing is incredibly powerful. We've got Blitz to refresh the Wild Barrage shot. We've got Decisive Sniping for that huge damage, Quickfire, and we've got Mother Nature's Protest with the Lightning Affinity. we've got the mana exchange. Once you turn on Mother Nature's Protest with the lightning affinity, it's going to consume a ton of mana. So then we've got the mana exchange to replenish most of that lost mana. We've got strafing. This is my max level skill. This is my huge damage skill as well. And then we've got Zephyr's Knock. Okay, now we move on to the passives. We've got Sniper Sense for that increase damage when you are at a distance of 1 meter or more. Eagle Vision for that increased range hit chance. Piercing Strike for increased bonus damage. Distorted Sanctuary for that increased melee range and magic endurance. Bloodlust for that skill damage increase. Ambidexterity for that increased offhand weapon max damage. Rapid Fire Stance for remaining stationary for 2 seconds, attack speed increases by 16% and melee and range hit chance by 100. Steady Aim, increased magic melee aim range crit hit chance. You're going to want to be focused on Rapid Fire Stance. Try to stand as still as possible. I mean, all you have to do is stand still for 2 seconds and it's going to prod. It's going to give you that extra range hit chance and it's going to give you that extra damage as well with the increased attack speed. Also, please note, you are able to change your builds here. You can go for a PVE build here like I have, and then if you hit this, I've got large scale PvP, and I've got regular PvP as well. You can rename these as well. Make sure you guys take advantage of this. You guys can mix and match all your skills. You see I don't have this in most of them. They're all different. Okay, for the skill specializations for PvE, we've got the Zephyr's Knock. It's going to do damage increase. We're going to do cooldown reduction for this as well. Decisive Sniping, we got charge time and another additional charge time. Strafing, we've got Gale, consecutive use, Nature's Blessing. We've got the Whirlpool attribute. This is going to create a whirlpool and increase your movement speed. We've got Blitz. We're going to do the cooldown. Decrease by 15 seconds. For the crossbow quickfire, we've got the Gale attribute, and then the minimum attack count changed to 4 attacks. Then we've got the cooldown reduction. Damnation Mark, this was Mortal Mark, switch it to Damnation Mark ASAP. It is bonus damage is removed, but the accumulated damage is increased by 40%. So just put this on somebody, mark them with Damnation Mark, do a bunch of burst damage, and then it's going to explode for 40% of that. 40% additional damage. Mother Nature's Protest with the lightning affinity. Bread and butter. Of course, once you turn this on, it is going to consume a ton of mana, but it also is going to give you a 30% increase in damage, your base damage. We're going to pair that with the mana exchange with the effect boost. This is going to replenish some of that lost mana when using Mother Nature's Protest. Wild Barrage Shot. This was Merciless Barrage. We switched it to Wild Barrage. I'll show you exactly why we did this. When I start demonstrating this, you guys are going to see that this build is nuts. Switch that to Wild Barrage Shot and Gale. And then that is it for the skill specialization. Alright, let's go through the rotations and let me show you guys this build in action. We're going to be testing it out on a practice dummy. Okay, the first thing I like to do is I like to mark them and use Selfless Diffusion, Nature's Blessing, Damnation Mark, and then the Wild Barrage Shot. And then once this is done, I can refresh the Wild Barrage with the Blitz. So, your game plan is when there's a huge mob of adds, you're going to want to group them up and then use this rotation. Deadly Marker, Selfless Diffusion, Nature's Blessing, Damnation Mark, and the Wild Barrage. I'll show you guys exactly what this rotation does, and make sure you guys focus on the cooldowns when all of these are used. Okay? We're going to start with the Mortal Mark. Look at the cooldowns. And you refresh it. Huge burst damage. You are going to destroy adds with that. Once mobs are grouped up and you want to speedrun dungeons, you can use that exact rotation to completely annihilate those mobs. And then here's the thing with Mother Nature's Protest. It is going to give you that increase boost damage, but like it's gonna just drain the hell out of your mana. But this thing is powerful. It's gonna give you an insane amount of damage boost. Alright, I'm gonna show that rotation again, and then make sure you guys are focused on the cooldown once that wild barrage shot is going off. Alright, let's do this again. Look at the cooldowns just like get this. Whenever Mortal Mark is on somebody and you guys are bursting them down, it reduces the cooldown for everybody in your party. This is why Mortal Mark is... Mortal Mark, you should have this in all of your PvE builds. This is why Deadly Marker is very important for PvE. As soon as you mark a target, all of your cooldowns get decreased, including you and your party. So if you guys are bursting down an enemy and they've got Mortal Mark on, your cooldowns are going to be greatly decreased. And then once you use that rotation, feel free to use whatever you like. You could use decisive sniping, you could use quick fire, strafing. Just depends on what comes off a cooldown first. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave a comment down below with any questions or suggestions for future videos. And as always, stay tuned for more Throne of Liberty guys coming your way.